Hi there, Hafsa. My name is Ellen, and I'll be correcting these essays for you today. Let's take a look at what you've submitted. International student enrollment. Let's see. Okay. The bar chart displays data on foreign pupil enrollment in England, Scotland, and Wales. Okay. In the years 2009 and 2014. Overall, foreign student enrollment within British universities across the 10 cities shown in this bar chart increased in the years 2009 and 2014, except in the city of Cardiff, which showed a decrease in the year 2014. The most dramatic increase in foreign student enrollment from 2009 till 2014 occurred in Birmingham, whereas Liverpool had no changes in enrollment percentages in that time period. Okay. Brighton had the highest percentage of foreign student, get rid of the S, get rid of the apostrophe, enrollment for both years with 12% in 2009 and 13% in 2014, but had the smallest surge in, I don't understand that. With 12 in 2009, this is Brighton, right? Let me see what you wrote here. Okay, Brighton had the highest percentage with 12. Okay, I see. So this isn't really entirely accurate. It's strange to call something the smallest surge. It's like a contradiction in terms. So you could have said instead, but this was the smallest increase, okay, of only 1%, whereas Birmingham had the highest, here I guess you can call it a surge, even though it's only 4%, had the highest increase in enrollment of foreign students with a 4% increase. Huddersfield had the lowest percentage of foreign student enrollment in the year 2009 at 1%, but Cardiff was the lowest for the year 2014, being the only city that declined in percentage from 2009 to 2014. Okay, so there's a lot to talk about here. The first thing is that I can see that your language level is very good. I saw a lot of accuracy. I saw a lot of sophisticated, advanced grammar, and so that was really nice. So that means that you're starting off at a good point. However, what I would like to comment on is primarily regarding what you decided to focus on and also your overview. This for me didn't really feel like an overview. There was so much information in it that it essentially read like a detailed paragraph. And if your examiner feels that way, then that means you have no overview, and that means that you cannot score anything higher than a 5 in task achievement. Okay? So, what should an overview contain? The overview should contain essentially the biggest, most obvious thing you see. And that's not what happened here. You actually went into quite a bit of detail. You didn't use data, you didn't use figures, but you still had quite a bit of detail, which keeps this from being a proper overview. So for me, an overview would have been something like of the 10 universities, Brighton had the largest international enrollment, whereas Cardiff had the least. That's it. That's an overview. Okay? Or you could have said, no, you don't want to say that because then you're getting into detail. But that would have been a good one. So you could have said Brighton had the most. Alternatively, you could have said that, Brighton had the most, but Birmingham had the highest increase. You could have said that as well. Okay? But that's essentially what you're going to talk about in an overview, and then nothing else. Then, when it comes to your detail paragraphs, we typically recommend having 2. So there was a lot of ways you could have organized this. Looking at this just like on its own, I probably would have done the following. I would have talked about Brighton, Leeds, and Birmingham in one. Oh, wait, no. How many is it? 10. So I would have talked about the top 3, Brighton, Leeds, Birmingham, and then the bottom 2 in one paragraph. And then I might have just kind of collected the rest of these together in another paragraph. So that's one way to do it, okay? So you talk about the outliers first. That's one technique, okay? So you talk about the highest, you talk about the lowest, and then in a separate paragraph, you talk about those middle scores, okay? Or you could have again done it differently. You could have talked about, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in one paragraph, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the other paragraph. Both are good ways of organizing. I mean, there's no right or wrong way to do it. It's really just what works best for you. Essentially, you would want to, you're not going to mention every single one, obviously, because it's 20 pieces of data. But what a chart like this allows you to do is allows you to group like things together. And that's what I would have done with Manchester, Liverpool, Birmingham. And it's really very simple kind of sentence that you could use. You could say, to give you an idea, Manchester, Liverpool, and Birmingham had 6, 8, and 8% respectively in 2009. While Manchester grew to 8, Liverpool remained the same, and Birmingham increased to the second highest level, or something like that, just to give you an idea of what you could do here. But it's about grouping. The same thing here. So you could say something like Glasgow, Edinburgh, and Bristol all had between 3 and 5% in 2009, yet in 2014, all three universities had 6% international students. Okay, so just grouping things together. So that's the kind of sentence structure you want to include here. All right, so let's continue with the international marketing question. Global marketing is viewed by some as an invasion to the nation at hand, while others believe it is important for the economy and contributes positively to the growth of culture and language of said nation. While some would argue global marketing is intrusive as it promotes the westernization of a nation's culture, don't forget your apostrophe S here, I believe that global marketing promotes economic growth as well as enriching the culture by allowing countries to share and spread ideas and designs all around the world. All right, it's kind of long for an introduction. You don't need all this information. And not only do you not need it, but I would recommend not including all of this. When you write these kind of long introductions, you are taking precious time away from your body paragraphs. And developing your body paragraphs is what's going to help you get a higher score in task achievement. So focus on just doing what you need to do in your introduction, which is rephrasing the question and then providing your position, and then be done with it and move on. Okay. I also felt like some of this was repetitive. Look, global marketing is viewed as an invasion. While some would argue that it is intrusive, I mean, there's no reason to repeat this twice. It's introduction. So this should really be something very brief. Let's see. Global marketing is viewed by some as an invasion to the nation at hand, while others believe it is important to the growth of culture and language. I believe that global marketing promotes growth, etc., etc. So really, just get rid of this whole section here. It's repetitive, so you don't need it. Okay? Let's continue. On the one hand, global marketing can be seen as intrusive to a nation's society. Full stop. New sentence. This is explained by the westernization of many cultures through pop culture and advertisements that promote Western brands. For example, many cultures have traditional clothes such as robes and head wrappings in Africa, but many have adapted to wearing pants and shirts over the years through copying what their favorite actors wear in movies or their top artists in music videos, rather than wearing the traditional attire their parents or grandparents wore in the past. However, I believe this is not the root cause of cultures being lost, and it is up to the parents to teach their offspring about their own cultures rather than blame it on global marketing, which is a good tool to better a nation's economy and enrich its culture. Okay, so this is really written very nicely. You have a lot of really great grammar, a lot of really great vocabulary, so I'm really quite pleased with it as far as language is concerned. Really nice job here. Let's see. I just want to make sure that you're talking about international marketing, okay? International global marketing. Let's see. You talked about advertisements that promote Western brands. That's what we want to be talking about, okay? not so much pop culture, but these advertisements. Um, let's see. So, yes, you got this right. But then the rest of it, like this whole idea about traditional clothes and then like their favorite actors and then top artists and music videos, that's really just talking about globalization. And you kind of got off topic. So you're not really talking about international marketing anymore. While you were on track when you mentioned advertisements, that's where you should have continued. Okay, you should have continued about kind of like the maybe the subconscious messages or the subliminal messages that are carried through advertisements and how they influence and they invade and they promote cultural ideals from the advertising country. So that would have been good, but some of this that you're talking about is no longer about international marketing, and instead it's really just about globalization. So an examiner will probably consider this to be peripherally um, related to the topic, but not entirely on topic. Okay? All right, let's continue. On the other hand, other people see global marketing as a means to spread cultures and promote economic growth of a nation, resulting in enrichment of its society in a positive manner. Global marketing allows many nations worldwide to share and gather many different aspects from infrastructure, food, fashion, and many more, leading to a fruition of many cultures embracing and learning from one another. For example, global marketing allowed sushi to be sold and marketed in countries where it did not exist before, allowing it, you just wrote allow, so careful. Um, maybe global marketing allowed sushi to be sold and marketed in countries where it didn't exist before, making it a food treasured by many all across the globe while simultaneously bringing in profit to the nation's economy. All right, now a lot of people interpret this essay as talking about economy and the benefits that marketing brings to the economy. I want you to be careful though here, because when they talk about economical, they're not, this might sound strange, but they don't mean economic. So I want you to look up the difference between economic and economical and see that we're not really supposed to be talking about how international marketing benefits a country's finances. Okay, so that's one thing, and this is in a sense the way that the people at IELTS are testing your vocabulary and making sure that you understand the language that is being used. But like I said, it was very nicely written, and so I enjoyed it. I thought you did a nice job. Let's see. In conclusion, although global marketing can influence changes that seem intrusive, I believe it is a useful tool in developing and enriching a nation's culture and economy. Okay, again, no economy. You're not supposed to be talking about that. Um, I might have wanted a little more detail here. Like you gave me this example here about sushi, and that's fine. But I thought that maybe you could have talked a little bit more about this whole idea of language, society, culture, and all of that. I think you could have maybe been a little more specific rather than just being so abstract when you're talking about this. Okay, like I said, the sushi was a good example. I would have liked maybe a touch more of this to make it more tangible. Okay, on the whole, Hafsa, I thought you did a lovely job. Um, I think you're on the right track, but I think that with some guidance, you could be writing much, much, much better. So I want to encourage you to sign up to one of our packages that you'll get in the email. Take a look and see which one works for you. I think they would all be appropriate. So see what works, and I really hope that we can continue to work together. Okay, best of luck to you.